Welcome back to my YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today I have for you a preview of the Tier 10 Battalion Contract RST-V Shadow. The Shadow here is an AFV in Armored Warfare. It is equipped with a Javelin missile. It actually features really good camouflage rating, really good spotting range, very thin armor, but very fast, and a really cool suspension. Let's do that again. Engaging the really cool suspension. Go, go, gadget suspension. Okay, enough of that for now. Alright, let's drive it around a little bit. Give you a quick show of how the javelins work. Okay, so highlight target, right click. Ooh. It's because I was moving. Right click, lock on, and fire. If it feels like hitting right now. Yeah, it takes quite a bit of long time to kill things with these javelins. Now they almost always, I'm going to say almost always, automatically penetrate. But they're not always going to penetrate. There's some vehicles that the javelin missiles have troubles with. Okay, let's engage the really cool suspension. Now, a couple things to point out about the really cool suspension as I drive around here a bit. Is that right now the steering is really good, the speed is really fast, yada yada yada. Doesn't do too bad at, well, actually it does pretty bad at the bumps over here. Which is one reason why I hate wheeled vehicles in the game.
Identify target. Hostile tank. We're submerged.
It does steer pretty well. At times. Not always. Seems like four-wheeled vehicles can be a little tricky.
Identify target. Hostile tank.
Okay, now we're going to engage the really cool suspension. And do that again with the suspension down. And as you can see, it's a lot slower. Now there's an advantage of having the suspension down versus the suspension up. With the suspension down, you will have increased camouflage rating. However, as you can see, you're slower. It's honestly, to me, it feels a little easier to steer, but the steering is a bit slower. Its terrain crossing capability is not as good. Easier to drown it because of course it's lower. It's actually doing a little bit better here because it's not as bouncy, but it's not crossing it as fast either. Actually looks like it's about to get stuck. But you know, we can always engage that really cool suspension and make our lives maybe a little bit easier.
Hostile tank.
As you can see, I'm still spotted here. It's because of this Bradley. Let's get rid of this Bradley one.
No pen.
Yeah, as you can see, every once in a while they don't pen. Now, stock, this comes with 40 missiles. Because of the commander I have on it, I have 49 missiles. Yeah, I'm still spotted. Trying to get in a range where I'm not spotted. This is weird. Because actually, I was playing in a match, and I actually had a K-21 literally like right on top of me, and it couldn't see me. Oh, there we go. See, now I can see the Oplot, but the Oplot can't see me. And actually, I'm pretty sure if I raise my suspension, my really cool suspension, nothing can still see me. And nothing can still see me.
Identify
Okay.
target.
Hey, I'm
Hostile
spotted.
tank.
Time to deploy the smoke.
Smoke grenade out.
Yeah. The smoke launchers are mounted right there.
Identify. Hostile tank. Smoke grenade out.
Well, so there you go. That is the Tier 10 Premium RST-V
Identify target. Hostile
Shadow.
tank.
And it's really cool suspension. All right, so let's do a quick comparison here. I'm going to do a quick comparison as well. Now, I'm going to compare it to the Tier 10 Sphinx, which is also an AFV, and it's actually the only Tier 10 AFV I can actually think of. So let's pull up the comparisons. And as you can see, there's certain areas where the Sphinx just overshadows the Shadow, no pun intended. And I feel in the range of firepower, actually, the Sphinx overshadows the Shadow. Once again, no pun intended. But the thing to point out with the Sphinx is it's got an automatic cannon as well as ATGMs, where the Shadow only has that single ATGM. So the damage per minute of the Sphinx is going to be way through the roof compared to the Shadow. Defense-wise, the Shadow has nothing over the Sphinx. As you can see, the Sphinx actually has more armor as well as more hit points. It also features composite armor, well, steel composite, or sorry, no, it's not steel composite, it's just steel. Don't mind me, I'm old and shit. Where the Shadow only features 5 millimeters of aluminum, which is why I'm not bringing up a armor inspector of this, because everything at this tier, actually everything at any tier can pen this vehicle. Spit wads can penetrate the vehicle. 5 millimeters of aluminum armor, I don't even think is proof enough against 7.62 NATO ammunition, which is what most coaxials, most vehicles carry as a coaxial. Mobility-wise, though, the Shadow is much better than the Sphinx. As you can see, its maximum speed is a little bit higher. Its 0 to 32 is definitely better, almost a half second better. And the vehicle mass, obviously, for the Shadow is much lighter, almost a quarter of what it is for the, well, it's a little bit over a quarter of what it is for the Sphinx. The camouflage is definitely better on on the Shadow. The spotting range, except for spotting on the move is actually lower on the Shadow, but spotting in general is definitely superior on the Shadow, especially when it's stopped. And the camouflage rating really makes up the difference, meaning 45% camouflage rating, and I don't actually have a very good crew on it because I literally just started messing with it yesterday. Got a couple games in it, yada, yada, yada. And targeting, we're not even going to consider the targeting because they're two separate animals when it comes to targeting. All that being said, the Shadow is definitely not going to be friendly for PvP, or sorry, PvE. It's not going to be friendly for PvE or Spec Ops, just because of the nature of the vehicle. It's a dedicated scout vehicle. Now, it does have some advantages, such as you're able to lock on with the Javelin ATGMs, and as long as you're behind a hill, you can, well, not behind a hill, but as long as that vehicle is spotted, you can shoot at the vehicle over the hill. You can shoot over buildings, anything like that. You can also hit. There's additional weak spots that the Javelin missiles can hit that your typical vehicles with ATGMs can't hit. That being said, there's also the lock-on time, as you've seen there. The reload time for those the Javelin ATGMs is pretty fast. And actually, it could be faster still for me. You know, once again, it comes down to right crew and leveled up crew. Also, I don't have a breach block or anything else helping me with the reload or the spotting for that matters. I have nothing helping me with the Shadow. So as you can see that it does have its moments where it dominates over the Sphinx. But anyway, folks, hopefully you enjoyed the preview of the Shadow. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you for the next video.